This is the new iPhone 17 Pro, and this is the iPhone 16 Pro. And today, I'm going to break down the differences between these two phones to help you decide if the changes this year are worth caring about. The most obvious change this year is the design. Notice I said change and not an upgrade because I'm still not sold on whether moving away from the titanium on the 16 Pro was an actual upgrade. Apple's big marketing push for the 15 Pro was all about titanium, but now with the 17 Pro, they've switched to an aluminum unibody with ceramic shield on the back instead of glass. And in theory, that's supposed to make it tougher and more durable. But after less than a week, I've already noticed some scratches along the aluminum edges, and I'll have to report back in my full review if that gets any worse. The new dual color back is also kind of a hit or miss. I think some people will like it, but personally, the clean glass back of the 16 Pro looked sleeker. And on paper, the 17 Pro is about 7 grams heavier, but the aluminum finish actually makes it feel lighter and less brick-like in the hand. Even my girlfriend felt the same. Does it feel nicer?
This one feels more like a toy.
Yeah, right?
This one feels more dense. But this one feels lighter. And it feels like, I like how soft it is. It's cutie.
And then there's a new camera bump, which Apple's calling it the plateau. That's where they packed in the new cameras and a 19 Pro chip, while leaving space below for the vapor chamber and a slightly bigger battery. We'll get to that part a little bit later. On the front, the 17 Pro's display can now hit 3000 nits outdoors compared to just 2000 nits on the 16 Pro. And side by side in bright sunlight, it is noticeable, so if you're always on your phone outside, this is a pretty nice upgrade. Apple also used Ceramic Shield 2 on the display, which they claim has 3 times better scratch resistance and a new anti-reflective coating. And with the new coating, you can really see the difference when looking at darker images, the blacks look deeper, and the overall display feels crispier. Altogether, the 17 Pro's display looks a little cleaner and easier to look in tough lighting. The biggest differences are with the cameras, and I'm not a camera expert, but I'll cover the basic differences. Starting with the front camera, the 17 Pro now has a new 18 megapixels square sensor camera compared to the 12 megapixels non-square sensor on the 16 Pro. This allows you to switch between vertical and horizontal framing while holding the phone vertically the entire time. It also gives you a noticeably wider selfie. Looking at it side by side with the 16 Pro, you can see how much more of the background fits in around me. And because of that wider sensor, the front camera also supports center stage now during video calls, so you can follow you as you move around in calls. And in the back, the telephoto lens saw the biggest jump. The 16 Pro's telephoto lens topped out at 12 megapixels 5x zoom, but the 17 Pro switches to a 48 megapixels telephoto with a 4x optical zoom, and then up to 8x using a cropped mode. At the park near my house, when I zoomed in on distant objects, the 17 Pro looked much cleaner, less grainy with better detail, whether that was in photos or videos. I'll let you be the judge. And for video, the 17 Pro finally supports native dual capture in 4K 30 frames per second, so you can record from the front and back cameras at the same time. It's definitely a nice addition, but I'm still not sure why this is only available for the new iPhones and isn't just a software update for all the iPhones. The 17 Pro is powered by the new A19 Pro chip, and Apple added vapor chamber cooling thanks to the extra space from the plateau design. What this basically means is that the phone should hold performance longer under heavy use like gaming or shooting high-resolution videos without heating up as quickly. But for day-to-day stuff like texting, scrolling, or being on social media, you probably won't notice a huge difference compared to the 16 Pro. But if you do usually push your phone harder, the 17 Pro should stay cooler and more consistent. The battery life is also getting a small bump from the 16 Pro. The 17 Pro fits a slightly larger battery, at least on the eSIM models in America, without a SIM tray. And Apple claims up to 39 hours of video playback compared to about 30 hours on the 16 Pro. In practice though, that just means a little bit more endurance during the day. Not really like a 2-day phone still, but definitely a little bit better. Charging speeds have also improved. With Apple's new 40-watt adapter, you can get to 50% in about 20 minutes. Compared to on the 16 Pro, it takes closer to 25 or 30 minutes with the same adapter. And both phones still have same USB-C and MagSafe support as before. At the end of the day, the iPhone 17 Pro feels like a year of refinements rather than a dramatic reinvention. The new design is the first real physical change in appearance since the iPhone 11 Pro, but I think it'll be a hit or miss compared to the titanium look of the 16 Pro. If you're a creator or heavy photographer, the upgrades are meaningful. A much better telephoto system with 8x reach, ProRes RAW, Genlock, and native dual capture. These tools alone make the 17 Pro stand out to certain users. But for most people using the 16 Pro, you can safely skip this generation in my opinion. If you're choosing between upgrading to the 16 Pro and 17 Pro today, the 16 Pro is still a solid pick, especially if you like the titanium build or if you find a good deal on it. The base iPhone 17 Pro does start at 256 gigabytes now, but it does cost $100 more than last year's base model. That's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments below which model you're upgrading to. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye now.